Submit and rule! Submit and rule! Submit and rule!
He's refused again!
They're on their knees!
The patriarch knelt down.
We chased them out! We have no master!
It's a terrible world we live in. It will get worse. And there's no one to rule us.
No one.
God!
Pray to God!
An announcement!
The council has decided to try one final time. We will again approach our rightful lord. The patriarch will hold the service in the Kremlin tomorrow. Nobles and pious people will form the congregation and will follow the banners of the saints and the icons of Vladimir and the Don in procession to the monastery. The Queen will be asked to intercede for our orphaned country with Boris Godunov, our rightful ruler. Go now to your homes and may your thoughts be continually with God.
So, we're in charge of the city. Nice warrant, all official, but we're in charge of nobody. The patriarch's gone to the monastery. Everybody's gone with him. Everybody. How's this going to end?
End? Doesn't take much thought. The people will continue. Boris will continue. The people will cry that he must. Boris will cry that he can't. There'll be tears on his face like an unhappy drunk. And then he will graciously bend and listen to the priests and listen to the people and stretch for the crown and rule again. And power will sit with him as before, but with a legal stamp.
It's been a month, and he's sat there with his sister. They've shut the doors against the world. That's how it seems. The patriarch, the nobles excluded, the people camped around the walls, the Grand Assembly, one deputation after another, all no good. And his sister, Queen in title, she's no different. Deaf to everyone. Has he trained her? Threatened her? A month. This is a game. I don't understand the rules. Has he grown tired of power?
And Dimitri might as well have lived. Why kill the crown prince and then hide away?
That was vicious. A crime. A brutal crime. Was it Boris who gave the orders?
Who else? Who bribed the guards? Who hired the murderers? Tell me. No? Nobody else? I went there. I was sent to Uglitch. I saw the evidence. All the people saw it. All the people said the same. And when I returned, I could have exposed the criminal. I had my words ready.
Why didn't you say them? Those words.
He looked me in the eye, calm, self-assured. Those lies, he told me, I repeated back to him. The prince was an epileptic. He was playing with a knife. He had a fit. He cut his own throat. The bleeding wouldn't stop.
Why? Not clean. Why touch the filth? Why?
Why did I do it? You ask me why? Tell all to Feodor, to our poor, weak king, who trusted and loved his regent, good, loyal Uncle Boris, wise Boris, guardian of Moscow. No. I kept my words to myself. Battle and torture for a purpose. For a purpose, I'll be brave. I didn't want to be bundled away to a monastery, to a black hole, to a cell with a locked iron door. Too many others have gone that way and been starved or strangled. I don't want to die in a hole with just a rat as a witness. No.
The crime must have left its mark in his brain. The throne is covered in blood, so he sits with monks instead, huh?
Boris isn't shy. He'll honour us a eventually. He has good timing. Murderer and upstart though he is.
His family isn't noble. Our families are. It's simple.
Simple.
Vorotynsky and Shuisky. Good names. Ancient names.
Ancient names. Yes?
We are descended from the first Russian king. Why can't we be kings?
A better claim than Boris Godunov.
Yes. Only by marriage is he a member of the royal family. Not by blood. Not by blood. But it would be a fight. A long struggle. Our fathers' grandfathers have served as subjects. The people don't see us as they did.
The people are coming back. Perhaps everything is settled.
Now they've all gone to see the Queen. She's in a cell with Boris, and the Patriarch and the nobility are there as well.
And
Nothing yet, he won't budge, but I say there's still hope.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Look, here's a shiny pebble. Look at this. No more crying. No more crying. If only we could steal inside.
look!
People everywhere.
People on roofs, on walls.
Oh, look at the church tower.
People on the weather vane.
Sight to see.
Why are they shouting?
Listen! What are they saying? People are dropping down, kneeling at the front. More and more like a wave. Quick, get down, get down!
Submit and rule! Submit and rule! Submit and rule! Our Father, our King, protect us!
Now they're waving, why?
How can we tell what's going on? Leave it to the nobles, that's what I say.
Cry, can't you? Cry! Louder! Everybody's crying, shouldn't we?
I'm trying, but the tears won't come.
An onion, that's what we need.
A king!
An onion.
A king! Listen. He's accepted! People over there, they're shouting.
Boris! King Boris! God save the King! God save the King! God save King Boris!
Father Patriarch. Nobles. Brothers. You have all seen into my soul. How reluctantly I have assumed this royal birth. You have seen the fear and humility. You have all seen how these grave responsibilities weigh upon me. I follow in the steps of great kings. My predecessor, Feodor, was not only a king, but a saint, well nigh an angel. God, dear God, look down and guide and protect your unworthy servant, one you have raised so high. And, my lords, I look for help from you, as I helped you when I stood there in your ranks, before the will of the people placed me upon the throne.
We will not neglect our duty, our sworn duty, to our King.
Thank you. Now, let us go and pray. The service is almost due to begin. And afterwards we shall feast. And all shall be invited to our table, lords and beggars, even the most lowly beggar.
Your guess was correct.
Sorry?
How things would unfold, you remember?
No, I don't remember.
When the people rushed across the square, you
Now isn't the time to remember. I advise you to forget. Perhaps some words were spoken as a test. Perhaps some words served a hook. Perhaps some words fished out your thoughts. Nothing more. Boris is our king.
So, Prince Shuisky, you're now a servant. A cunning servant.
The last tale. Just one more, and my work will be done. Sinner that I am, I will have completed my task, the duty laid on me by God. Not for nothing did I see so much, master the art of writing and retire here. Year after year I have served the future, served some monk like me, who will search through the dust with his lamp, uncover my words, and copy them for the world. Then our kings will be known, their great deeds and their great sins, and prayers will be said for them, for us all. But there are not many faces that are still clear to me, not many words that I can bring back. But what other witness is left alive? None, I believe, so write I must.
Always now the same dream. Is it possible? 3 nights in a row. But there he sits, still writing, always writing, on and on into the early hours, writing his chronicle. No judgment, no lament, no rage, a raging story, but told calmly. What's he seen? Or what's he been told? Everything in his chronicle seen by his eyes, or the eyes of another witness. And what have I seen?
Brother, you're awake.
Yes, Father. Woken by the same dream. Bless me.
May God bless you today and each day.
The same dream, Father. The same dream. It clouds my mind. A dream from the devil. How else can it be explained?
Tell me.
There is a tunnel, which becomes a staircase. I'm walking on the level one moment, and then I'm climbing. The stairs are straight, and then they spiral. Up and up and up and up and up, and when I finally reach the top, stagger onto the platform, Moscow is below me. All of Moscow is below me, as if I were a bird perched on high, and I see it's a tower. I've climbed to the top of a tower, and the people below me are so small. Tiny, little people, a huge number, but ever so small, but their voices are clear. I can hear them talk, and then they laugh. They're laughing at me because I've climbed the tower, and they laugh and roll about and point, and my head spins at the sight of all these tiny, little people, mad with laughter, and I fall off. Off the tower, down I go, and I wake up, and I'm back in my cell. Same dream, the same hour, 3 nights in a row, Father. Isn't that strange?
It's the blood. The blood of a young man. Fasting and prayer will help. They'll help prevent this dream from disturbing you. Even at my age, if I fall asleep without unprepared, without first praying to God, my dreams become terrible. War, fighting, drunken feasts, all the other scenes come back to me. My youth appears to me. Memories. Memories distorted and deformed, but always violent. They make me glad to be here, to have turned my back on the world.
But you've seen the world, Father. You weren't raised here. You were even at Uglich when Dimitry died, so people say. Father, is it true? Was he murdered?
I happened to be there serving as a go-between. I got there the night before. Then the next morning during Mass, the bell suddenly rang out the alarm. Havoc and noise and everybody running, that's what I remember. In the palace we found the Queen shrieking, and Dimitry dead. There was much blood. Too much blood, it seemed, just for one child. A man was accused and killed at once, and 3 more were dragged in, terrified. They confessed and blamed Boris Godunov. He's behind it all, they shouted over and over. Didn't save them, but they were given time to confess.
Was there nobody to defend him?
Dimitri? No. There was just a boy and his mother. A young boy. If he'd lived, he'd have been same age as you, more or less. Fine prince he would have made. God willed otherwise. And the death of Feodor will bring my chronicle to an end. But you can continue my work. Remote though we are in our secluded monastery, we're still visited by all sorts. Numerous people, diverse people. Learn to ask and learn to listen and write it all down. Preserve our age for the future.
But I must live! You were even at the Battle of Kazan. You've met kings. You've talked to foreigners. You've seen foreign lands. How can I write about the world if I don't know it?
Do you think that if you love the world will love you? The monk's cell is a world for a man with the right frame of mind. Let the world come to you. Even kings have come here. Kings have confessed here, jealous of our quiet lives, having learned to hate the world. Ivan the Terrible came here after he killed his son, beat him to death, killed his oldest son and heir. Now all Ivan's sons are dead. Such a long reign that finally it all passed away. The crown went to the brother of his daughter-in-law, remote connection. Such is the world. Time for matins.
Live forever in a monk's cell. And Boris, that murderer, to roam free just as he wishes. King Boris, you might be dispossessed. Somebody as bold as yourself might do it. A few words in the corner of a monk's cell might be the beginning of your end.
He run away? Can you answer me now?
Your Holiness, he vanished 3 days ago.
Vermin! Who is he? Where's he from?
Poland, or nearby Poland. Otropev, that's the family. Nobles of some sort from the Polish border. He drifted about from monastery to monastery, young, foolish, but bright. I put him in the care of Pimmon, Father Pimmon, our scholar. He showed a gift for letters, but it clearly wasn't a gift from God.
He can read!
He can, Your Holiness.
And write!
And write too.
Bastard! 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 And he said I'll be king! In Moscow!
He had a persistent dream, so Father Pimmon told me.
Bastard! Blasphemer! Dreaming!
Find him, catch him, and if he survives being arrested, send him to the Arctic. Let him freeze in Solovetsky forever. Where's the king?
Shh! We are locked over the sorcerer, a mangy old man, a tramp who mutters.
Does he still try to see the future?
You know, sorcerers, fortune tellers, witches, they're all welcome.
Like a bride before her marriage, but what is he trying to discover?
Oh, here he comes. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Oh, with that face of misery, no thanks.
Let's suspect the courtyard.
King! 6 years, 6 royal years, 6 years of struggle. And the fortune tellers, what do they say? Blessed will be the years to come. Decade after decade of joy, they promise. They tell me what I long to hear. doubtful I become. Like a fool, I seek out another fortune teller, and I told the same thing again! 6 years. 6 years and I'm tired. I remember when I first fell in love. That looked promising too. Loving power is even worse than loving a woman. There was only one person then to disappoint me. And only one person to mark me down as a failure. Now I have all of Russia. When there was famine, I found them bread. When there were fires, I rebuilt their homes. When there were wars abroad, I kept the borders safe. Gratitude. Gratitude. None. They murmur, whisper, murmur, murmur, whisper. All evils derive from me. So they say. A tainted king. So they say. A murderer. So they say. King Feodor. I killed him. How? His queen, my sister. I killed her. But she's alive. My daughter's husband. I killed him too. Why would I? Rumors don't need reason. The voice in the crowd is always against the powers that be. Perhaps when I'm dead, I'll be loved. That my conscience doesn't let me believe. I have betrayed my king's trust. In my mind's eye, I see a boy covered in blood. In reality, I never saw him dead. In my mind, I see him every day.
Lift the latch and shove.
Evening!
Evening.
Evening, gentlemen. A drink, perhaps.
Oh, whatever God provides.
A little wine. Do you have any?
Maybe that wine would be a fine place.
Comrade, why the long face? We're almost in Poland!
Well, you want to be at such a pace.
But we're not there yet. And I won't be happy until I am.
Why?
What's so good about Poland?
We don't care where we are.
So long as they don't drag us back.
Drag us back to the monastery.
Oh, we wander here, oh, we wander there, oh, we wander everywhere.
We beg, we recite, we act.
It may be said and verified, mankind was dearborn.
By the piteous death of Jesus, he has his remedy.
He was purged of his default, that wretchedly had wrought.
By his glorious passion, that blessed lavatory.
Gentlemen, wine. May be good for your health.
And we'll drink to yours.
And will bless you.
Jesus turned water into wine.
The more you drink, the holier you are.
But none for you.
Water, thank you, will be fine. Just as Jesus took from the well of the woman in Samaria. And Jesus said unto her, give me drink.
A fast!
A penance.
A sickness!
A fever. None of those.
Ooh. Well, if you don't enjoy our company...
Why did you insist on being our companion?
It's lonely, following the road by oneself.
This is the road to Poland.
You could be in Poland in a couple of hours, if it wasn't for the guards.
What guards?
Border guards.
That's new.
That's strange.
That's a nuisance, more to the point. It's all because somebody's escaped from Moscow and is heading west. So they say.
Ooh.
Well, they did tell me, but I forgot.
What's he look like?
Again, forgotten. But anyone would think that the road was the only way across the border. Yet all you've got to do is follow the track to the left, through the swamp, and you keep going on till you see the hills in the distance. And any lad from thereabouts can lead you into Poland. Guards on the road, a joke. All they do is barge people about and grab their goods as if they were judges set over us.
For which God preserve you all at the last judgment.
For surely there shall be a straight examination.
The corn shall be saved, and the chaff shall be bred.
I beseech you heartily, leave your premeditation.
I beseech you heartily, leave your calculation. Leave your chaff, leave your corn, leave your dalliation. Your wit is little, your head is mickle, you are full of predication. Do you think you're the only actors on the road to Poland?
All round.
Oh, it's them again, our guards.
Evening.
Evening, gentlemen.
You're having a little party.
Just resting our feet.
We're monks. We're begging for alms for our monastery.
Rich beggars.
Yeah, we've seen many of those.
But times are hard.
And people have grown mean
Many a mile.
without a coin
Toss.
in our bag
It would be a
to
shame
return
to our habit.
with an empty sack.
And empty stomachs.
So a little wine
Is our compensation.
for the hardships of the road.
And you?
Oh, I'm just a local lad. I showed him the way here. I need to go back the way I came.
You've changed your mind?
Stay a while.
We're looking for someone.
Can you read?
Oh, not a word. I am a true Christian.
I could once, but it all slipped away as I became more devout.
We could arrest them all.
I can.
You?
A choir master taught me.
Then read this.
But don't sing it.
It's about the heretic that we're chasing.
Heretic?
A blasphemer.
It describes him. Grigor-Dimitry.
I know nothing about him.
Then read.
A monk has fled from Chudov and broken his monastic vows. He is Grigor of the Otropev clan, and he is in league with the devil. He is a blasphemer and a sore of temptation. He must be caught and bound, lest he escape to Poland.
And killed.
It don't mention killing.
Not every word was put there,
Read the last bit again.
including the words which aren't written down.
He must be caught and bound and killed, lest he escape to Poland.
There.
It's you, isn't it?
Me? No, I'm not a Grigor. I never have been. And I abhor the devil and all his deeds.
How much you got in your bag?
Stop! Read on!
He's in his late 20s, has a beard and fair hair.
Must be you.
That's what it looks like.
Where? Where did it say that? I can read a bit. If it's that or death. He is tall with dark hair. It's you, you liar!
Get it! And now for the last toast. Recite the prayer of thanks for another anniversary of the accession of our Master. Almighty God, who rulest over all the kingdoms of this world, and dost order them according to thy good pleasure, we yield thee unfeigned thanks for that thou wast pleased as on this day to set thy servant, our sovereign Lord King Boris, upon the throne of this realm. Let thy wisdom guide him, and let thine arm strengthen him. Let truth and justice, holiness and righteousness, peace and charity abound in his days. Direct all his counsels and endeavours to thy glory and to the welfare of his subjects. Give us grace to obey him cheerfully, for conscience' sake, and let him always possess the hearts of his people. Let his reign be long and prosperous, and crown him with everlasting life in the realm to come, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
And now we drink, dear guests, to our great sovereign, King Boris.
King
Boris. And now we must part. Thank you for your time. Good night. Good night.
I thought they would never go. My news was making me ill with impatience.
You don't need to stay. Leave the things for now. Go!
A miracle. A miracle has occurred. My brother's son, he's in Krakow, sent a courier. He arrived today.
Pushkin, are you sure that's a miracle?
News about the Crown Prince.
Dimitri?
Yes.
Stop!
Dimitri.
Who died at Uglitch.
Who survived the attempt on his life and who escaped to Poland.
Dimitri, whose corpse I saw at Uglitch.
True or false, Prince or actor, what does it matter if he can raise an army?
This is impossible. As if alive, that's all that we can say. I saw the wounds in that body. What more? What army?
My nephew has seen him. He saw Dimitri ride into the royal palace. King Sigismund has received him.
Who is he and where is he from?
All I know is that he was a servant. He had a place in the house of some lord somewhere in Poland. There he fell ill. He seemed to be dying. He confessed to a priest, confessed his name. Then he recovered.
He recovered very well if people are calling him a king. Is he popular?
Very.
This could overturn all our lives. What's he like? What does your nephew say?
Clever, indeed sharp. Friendly with Poles and Russians. The people like him. The nobles like him, the priests like him, even the king likes him.
But still, he's an impostor. If word of this should spread, mayhem would follow. What's to be done?
Word will get out. Boris will have to clasp his crown if he's to keep it on his head. Doesn't he deserve it? He's not Ivan the Terrible. He doesn't burn people alive in public and rake about in their ashes with a staff. He's not so brutal a killer, but people still die. Imprisoned and starved, imprisoned and strangled, imprisoned in Siberia, which is as good as being dead. Spies everywhere. In every house an informer. And no longer can we buy and sell serfs. The serfs are bound to our estates as if they were trees with their roots deep, deep in the ground.
Enough! Watch what you say. King Boris sits on the throne as powerful today as yesterday. Tomorrow's words should wait until tomorrow.
Yes, you're right. You're careful, survivor. My tongue moves too freely.
Keep it still until we meet again. Farewell.
Farewell, and thank you.
I'll never get married. Not now. You should have been my husband. Instead you came here to die. So many miles you travelled to find a grave and you left behind a widow who was never a wife. Life is strange. Mine's over. It never began.
No, this can't go on. It can't. You can't lock yourself away.
I can. It's my duty. To God and my love.
You're so young.
Only in years, not in what I've experienced.
You still crying? Crying for what you've never had, hmm? For unfulfilled dreams. Realized dreams can bring tears too. And God's punishment. Now what's this? Hmm? What are you doing?
All the lands of Russia. I'm drawing them from end to end. It's your kingdom. Look. Here's Moscow. There's Novgorod. Here's Astrakhan. There's the Forest of Pan, which just goes on and on. There's the sea. And that's Siberia. And that stretches right to the edge.
What's that long line?
It's the Volga.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I feel like a bird, eh? Oh, it's good to study and learn how to do such things. Hmm? Borders, towns, rivers, all laid out. Study well, so that you gain wisdom. Hmm? Books offer a quicker route than life. Perhaps that's true. Study well. One day, all of this will be yours. Ah, here comes the morning's report. Time for you to go. What's the news?
Sir, at dawn we had a couple of visitors.
One from my ring of informers, from Pushkin's house.
And one from mine.
Shuisky's doorman.
Both keen to denounce their masters.
They conspired in this.
Independently, we firmly believe, but their stories match.
Well,
A messenger from Poland came to see Pushkin, and within the hour he sent him back without anything in writing.
get that messenger and bring him here.
Sir, we're in pursuit.
Shuisky.
Yesterday he organised a meeting, a dinner for friends. Pushkin was there and stayed late. Later than all the others, they talked together into the night.
Fetch Shuisky.
Sir, he fetched himself. He's waiting to see you.
Bring him in. Messenger, I hate every single Pushkin, every member of that family. Shuisky, a loyal face. I've never caught him in anything treacherous, in anything false. But I don't trust him. He has deep thoughts, I'm sure.
My lord, my duty brings me here. I have important news.
I'm listening.
Perhaps if the prince...
I'm sure that you will further the prince's education.
My lord, there is word from Poland.
That went to Pushkin, and then Pushkin went to you.
I thought I was bringing you news, but evidently you know everything.
Tell your tale. I want to match it against others.
My lord, I only know that an impostor has appeared in Krakow to the delight of the king and his court.
Who is he? Who does he pretend to be?
I don't know his real name, and I don't know where he's from.
A threat or not?
My lord, you are powerful and vigorous. All your loyal subjects revere you and delight in your generosity of spirit. But in every country, when something new appears and peculiar, heads turn that way. Novelties catch the eye and ear. Any impostor with a little energy and a few followers will gather a mob about him, hopeless men looking for hope. My lord, freak shows attract freaks, and this impostor, this freak, calls himself Dimitri.
Which
Dimitri, son of King Ivan. Dead Dimitri.
Father, how is this possible? The dead are dead until doomsday.
Let him go. Go now, not a word more. Dimitri!
My lord, I've told you all I know, but surely others have told you more.
Be quick. Within the hour, send out the orders. Secure the border. No beggars, no drifters, nobody. No one is to come to Russia from Poland. Barricades if needs be. You are responsible. This now is your job. Go.
At once.
Stop. You were there.
Krakow.
Aldrich! You went to investigate his death. Tell me now, truthfully. Truthfully, or I will have you killed. Killed slowly. Ever so slowly. Did you see Dimitri's body?
My king, I saw Dimitri's corpse. The whole town saw his corpse. It lay uncorrupted in the cathedral. There is no doubt that the people of Uglitch killed the murderers because of their love of Dimitri.
They loved Dimitri. He is dead. His father is dead. His brothers are dead. I am the Lord's anointed. The Patriarch anointed me.
King of Russia.
And this freaking Krakow.
A liar.
But the King of Poland and all his court, they believe...
They are spreading lies for their own malicious aims.
How do I fight a ghost? With what weapons? This is why I've had bad dreams for 13 years. Not because of what happened, but because of what was to come. What comes follows from what passed before. There is no avoiding that. Will my children lose everything? All this for a few years of power, and then my family is swept away. No. Be strong. Responsibility wears me down. The crown is heavy. But it is mine. And I will show the world a confident face.
No, father, no difficulties. I understand the people's spirits. They are pious but not fanatical. They follow their king. If the king is a Catholic, they will be Catholic. In 2 years' time, all of Russia will be loyal to Rome.
Perhaps so, but say little about this. You don't need to shout your loyalty. God hears when you whisper. He even hears your thoughts. Let the people believe what they will, otherwise Orthodox priests may prop up Boris. They might preach for him to fight a holy war. Be careful with your words, Dimitri, and many a life may be saved, and many a soul.
Amen. I have heard the sermon. I will speak with discretion.
Sir, there are many gentlemen waiting to see you. Some have been here for 2 hours.
Show them in. Friends, comrades, brothers, I am sorry that my prayers and my confession have kept you waiting, but who can launch such an enterprise without first remembering God? No one who aims to succeed. But I know why you are here in Poland, and I have the answer you want. Tomorrow we leave Krakow, and we march on Moscow! And Minesh, my friend, I propose to stay 3 nights with you. I want to gather our troops at your castle in Sambor.
Sir, you are welcome, and in hope of this news I have made the preparation.
Thank you. Not only does your home lay on our route to Russia, but I've heard much about your daughter.
Oh, we'll both be glad of your company.
And then to Moscow! But I see some new faces here.
Allow me to introduce my friend, Kurbsky.
A famous name.
And a dangerous one, sir, in Russia.
Your father won a great victory at Kazan.
And fought against his jealous master. It was that or die.
Or did Ivan the Terrible kill more enemies of Russia? Or friends?
Friends. But Boris Godunov is no different.
But I escaped.
Thank God. God be praised.
Gentlemen, please excuse me. I still have many things to settle today. But in 4 days' time, all our forces shall be gathered at Sambor. And then we follow the road to victory!
He only talks with my Marina. He only thinks of her. He is set on marrying her. Mark my words, mark them well. Now, who would have thought it? My daughter, Queen of Russia.
A miracle indeed. Not so long ago, he was a servant in one of my castles, a menial servant. Then he declared himself Dimitri. He arrived in Poland with 1 shirt on his back. He's leaving with an army. It's a curious world.
My Marina's a woman, isn't she?
Oh yes, she's a woman.
I gave her a hint, a little hint, the tiniest hint. She's caught him. He's all wrapped up.
Oh, my glass is empty.
By the fountain in the avenue of Lindens, tomorrow night at 11.
At 11.
11.
What do you think of our Dimitri?
Oh, he's neither handsome nor ugly, but you can tell he's got royal blood.
But what does he see in her?
Oh, she's beautiful.
A nymph, yes, like a statue. No warmth, no life. And have you ever heard her laugh?
But she keeps him here.
She keeps us all here. Our leader only advances by fits and starts. We surge forward and then we wait.
Aren't you glad for my company?
I am, but I'll enjoy it more later, after the campaign. The longer we delay, the better prepared Boris will be.
Oh, but God is with Dimitri.
Then why does he need an army at all?
God helps those who help themselves.
We'll see.
Another bottle.
Another bottle.
I was young once.
Oh, you were once.
Now, once and never again.
It is natural.
It was different in my day.
Oh yes, it was you, not them.
There it is. Her fountain, our appointed place, which seems to me more threatening than all the battlefields between here and Moscow. Strange. Is a woman more dangerous than a cannon? Yes. Or so it would seem. So it would seem by the shaking of my legs.
Prince!
Oh, I think my heart has stopped.
Is that you?
Yes. Yes. It is me, just me. I've been waiting through this long, long day just for this moment.
Well, it's arrived.
Yes, my love is here. My sweet.
On the whole, I find that time goes too quickly, so let's not waste our time on loving words. I am yours, I have agreed, but in return I demand to know how high you aim. Do you intend to drive out Boris Godunov? Will you take his throne? Or will you let him pay you off with some petty little dukedom? Will you negotiate with Godunov or defeat him?
What, Godunov? I want to forget him for now. For an hour, just an hour, and talk of you and me, of our love.
No, stop. This is not the road to Moscow. While you wait here, your supporters grow tired and bored. You are a new thing in the world. The time to move is now, but I want to be clear as to your plans.
But if all I owned was some hut, some cabin in the woods, wouldn't you still live with me? Can't you love me as a man, just as me?
Have you forgotten what family you come from? Dimitri, your royal duty. How can a prince talk of a...
Marina, love me! Love me and not Dimitri. He's dead.
What?
He's dead. He's buried. He was killed 15 years ago. I was a monk and tired of my monastery, frightened of looking at the same walls all my life, of living without living. So I thought of a great scheme. I escaped and joined the Cossacks, learned how to ride, learned how to use a sword, learned how to be somebody that I wasn't. And then I made my way to Poland, where any stick is seized on to beat Russia. Speak.
Speak! Speak of my shame and stupidity.
Can't you love? What's my fate?
Oh, get up. You sad fraud! Get up! Do you think begging can move a woman like me? Your idea of me is as wrong as mine is about you. Can't you see what I am and what I want? Unlike you, I'm no pretender. Get up and look at me. See me true.
Only my love for you made me speak.
I don't care for your confession. You're a nobody. A fraud who deserves to be hung up. I believe that's the punishment now. For gross deception. For impersonating a prince. If you've deceived all of Russia and all of Poland, you might at least have allowed me to be deceived as well. Why?
Only you know this. Why? Because I wanted to be true to you, only you.
And why should I believe this?
The ghost of Ivan rose before me. The dead king came into my cell, Ivan the Terrible. I was anointed by a ghostly king, but still a king. In my cell I was given my destiny, and I can take Moscow without your help. When I speak, I am believed.
But don't you fear that I'll be believed if I spoke of you? If I said who you are?
No! For nobody cares who I am as long as I serve a purpose. Poland and the Pope want me to be Dimitri, so I'm Dimitri. If you denounce me, you'll be locked up in a convent. A cell just like mine, or perhaps worse, a cell deep, deep underground. Nobody but the rats would admire your beauty. Be silent, or be silenced. That is your choice. We march at dawn. Farewell.
Stop! This is better. You've returned to being a man. The lover has gone and the boy. My father sees me as your wife. Good. Perhaps an adventurer is better than a prince.
Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps it's better to become a prince than be one.
There! There she is! Russia! And is this the border, this little stream? land. How different the air feels. Foreign dust, farewell. My land. My Russia. I have returned with the spirit of my father to set you free. And with my father's spirit we will defeat the tyrant. Boris Godunov, you're doomed. And you, our rightful ruler, what this moment must mean to you.
What this moment means to me. Oh, good Kurbsky, trusting and true. And the soldiers behind me, all caught up in my dream, in the fantasy of a monk in his cell. What of them? But still, Godunov has blood on his hands. Royal blood. The great axe will fall on him. Does it matter how justice triumphs, a true cause or a false man? Which counts for more? Godunov had Dimitry murdered. He told lies to make himself seem innocent. So it is right to live a lie as Dimitry for Dimitry, so that Dimitry may be avenged. But if the truth were told, how many of the men behind me who are marching to their death would follow me across this stream? None. So for justice, I must be a liar and bring Poland to invade Russia. Death to Godunov. Death to Godunov!
Long live Dimitry!
Impossible! These chaos, these threats in writing! A monk has run away to Poland, calls himself a prince, and brings an army to Russia! How could it happen? Must be mad. But his madness is catching. A madman is roaming Russia like a disease! Tcherniak is surrounded. The town must be saved. The lunatic must be stopped. No further delay. Basmanov, you march and box, go.
I will kill this madman, sir, or bring him to Moscow in a cage. Within 3 months, I swear by God.
Go! The King of Sweden has offered us an alliance. How weak we must look. We have soldiers enough, so I have declined. But we must mobilize the reserve in case there is an outbreak somewhere else. Send the command to Dacius.
Sir, I will have a new army here within 2 months.
The monks? What of them? They've been enlisted in the past. But for now they can just pray. Fighting is not enough. We need to answer these rumors and these lies. Every monk and priest must pray in public for us and against this delinquent. His words have spread across Russia. He has willing messengers. His people repeat every and any monstrous claim. These messengers must be answered and destroyed! Patriarch, what do you say?
We are grateful for your mildness, which has prevented liars being executed up to now. My Lord, we give thanks to God for your gentle spirit, yet the strength of this fugitive rests on a lie. Expose the lie, and he is finished. I do not know the ways of the world, but a certain step seems wise to me. It will expose this fraud. This counterfeit Dimitry is nothing but an evil child. But first, I must take you back 6 years, for soon after Dimitry died, an old shepherd came to me with a miraculous story. As a child, he had lost his sight, and after that he couldn't tell night from day. He went on pilgrimages, he travelled from shrine to shrine, he could list them all the ones you could think of, and more, many more. No miracle came. But in old age, an angel visited him in a dream. Go to Uglitch, said the angel, and so the shepherd took his grandson, and the Lad guided him to the town, and in the town they found the cathedral, and in the cathedral the grave. The shepherd knelt, he prayed, his sight was restored. The grave of Prince Dimitry worked a miracle.
And
isn't it clear?
I'm still waiting to see.
We must move the bones of Dimitri, move them to Moscow so that they can work their miracles here.
But your grace, everybody would say we were shuffling with the body of a saint for our own purposes. Dimitri died in Uglitch. In Uglitch he should remain. Pilgrims travel the country. We can't afford their ill opinion. I will go and speak to the people. I will remind them of Dimitri's grave, and I will denounce this pretender as a treacherous, blasphemous and evil fraud.
Yes. Do it. Speak as you know how.
Didn't you note his face when he spoke of murder? It doesn't help his mind. I doubt he could tolerate the bones close by in Moscow.
Because he loved him so.
Why else?
Victory! Victory! Hail King Dimitri! We must pursue!
No! We've won, we regroup. There's enough Russian blood on these fields.
But we've got them on the run!
I hope Godunov tell me we'll mount away.
Then apply a little heat, chase them!
No! Tonight and tomorrow we regroup.
Has the king left the cathedral yet?
Mass is finished, now they're saying prayers for Russia.
Oh, they are they? And what are they saying about him?
I was standing in the porch, then Grigory-Dimitry, anathema.
Anathema?
Outcast. It was shouted out, I turned away.
Right, what's the point? Dimitri's not Grigory, Grigory is not Dimitri, we know. We all know, even they know.
They started saying a requiem for Dimitri. Oh, I left her, none of that.
A requiem, he's alive!
Fucking blasphemy! That's the limit!
Nikolka wants bread! Nikolka wants bread! Nikolka wants bread!
Metalhead, you've begged me twice this week already.
A coin! A coin! A coin! No, mercy!
Oh, look out, time to go!
Money for a bed! Please! Help an old woman! I can't work, I can only beg! Please!
Back! Get back! Find a grave! Die!
Even the poor need to eat!
I'm warning.
Okay. Say some prayers for me.
Oh, thank you, my king. Oh, but I tried. I tried to pray for you, but the Virgin Mary turned aside. The Virgin Mary turned from me when I spoke your name. No one will intercede for you. Not one saint in heaven. But in hell, the devils are getting ready. The man behind you is a devil. The devils are here as well. I will snatch you down. You're a lost soul, my king. A lost soul.
Where's the prisoner?
Prisoner here, sir.
Bring him forward.
Who are you? Roshnov! From Moscow!
A noble family.
Yes!
And how long have you been in the army?
A month.
Aren't you ashamed, Rosnov, to have fought against me?
No choice. No shame.
Sir.
Sir,
And where were you in the battle?
in the last reserve. We just arrived from Moscow. Sir.
And how is Boris Godunov?
Anxious. Occupied with war. Now he sent Shuisky to take charge.
And Basmanov's been sacked.
Basmanov's joined the circle of advisors round the throne.
So he's turned a general into a courtier, and a courtier into a general. And how is Moscow?
Like Godunov, anxious. Unlike him, quiet.
Is the city waiting for me?
It's hard to tell when men are quiet. Some are quiet because they're afraid, some are quiet because their tongues have been ripped out, and some are quiet because their heads have been cut off. Decapitation discourages conversation.
True enough.
And the prisons are full. And informers are everywhere. If 3 men gather together, it's assumed that one's a spy.
What an envious life Godunov has given his people.
A terrible life. Terrible.
And how about the army?
What do they think of him? Oh, they're clothed and fed and short of nothing. Weapons, tents, wagons, they're content enough.
How many all told?
God knows.
Yes! 30,000.
50,000, more like.
And me? What do they say of me?
I hope you take this well, sir. A rogue, that's what they say, but still a decent man who's known for his mercy.
Friends, let's not wait for Shuisky to fall on us. Let's seek him tomorrow.
Farewell, Roshnov.
Long live Dimitri. Another battle tomorrow.
And how many are we? 15,000.
How many did you say? 50,000?
I did.
You're lying.
I'm not.
Anyway, 1 Pole is worth 50 Russians.
Let's try it then, 1 to 1.
You're a prisoner, bound up. Otherwise I'll lose.
His mouth is full.
His legs are cautious.
If Godunov loved Russia, you'd be dead by now.
We're alive, Roshnov. Even when they win, Godunov's Russians just fade away.
All we have to do is keep repeating one word.
Dimitri.
It's a powerful word. Tomorrow you can set it against 50,000 men. Is it powerful enough?
We'll see.
Oh no! Poor horse! Just die quickly! Why should you suffer? What's Boris Godunov to you? Yet because of him and me, some shell has sought you out. Just die!
That was right, wasn't it? He wouldn't have lived, would he?
He was done for.
You were sorry with Kurbsky! Where is he?
He's still on the battlefield, sir.
He wouldn't retreat. No, he can't.
You left him there? He's captured?
There's nothing left.
There's no remains, sir.
A shell landed just behind him, sir.
And some of us began to retreat. Not us.
But we followed. We would have been surrounded in that post.
So you found your way back?
We did, sir.
But it was the Cossacks that let us down. The Russians retreated before them, but the mercenaries stood their ground. What to do if your enemy won't run away? Run away yourself. They should be decimated. Every 10th man killed.
If you can find them.
They're gone, sir.
Clean away. What are the orders, sir?
Orders?
Sleep by turns. 1 man to keep guard. I must sleep now.
2 hours at a time. You, then me. Sleep at once. Cared for the horse. For us. The men, are you troubled at all? Or are we just phantoms? Phantoms in your dreams. What are you dreaming of now, Dimitri? That's who you are. But if the claim is false, it's too late to return to your real name. We're Dimitri's army, so you must be Dimitri. Somebody does the same kindness to you as you did to the horse. You started the game. The game for Moscow. Even if you died, would it stop? Wouldn't another man stand up and cry, I'm Dimitri? Play again. And on, and on.
He's lost a battle. But what have we gained? His forces regroup. We besiege one of his towns. One of our towns! Now his town. But while we fight, the word spreads. That's the real enemy. The word. Dimitri. Oh, I have power. He has authority. Even though he's dead. He died in Ublich. His bones are buried there. But someone has stolen his name from his body. A thief is running around with a stolen name. He's just a monk and nobody. Even if we captured him and he confessed, people would say that we tortured and made him lie. And if we killed him, what then? Then he would be a martyr, and we would be murderers! But I am the true king, by the law of succession, by the law! But I am not Dimitri. How can I be Dimitri?
Sir, when we kill the pretender, things will grow quiet.
If I could believe that, I would be young again.
And we must kill the nobles. All those with ancient names, all those style princes who are princes no more. Kill them all. Kill the traitors. They're all linked to the pretender.
Yes. Let the bastards die! But we can't fight on two fronts at once. But you are right. A few hundred spectacular executions will help quieten Russia. We'll put on a good show, yes? But first comes the war. The war with Dimitri. Dimitri will die. And then the aristocrats, they die too!
Sir, if you permitted now a few hundred deaths or a few thousand deaths, much would be restored.
If Dimitri can return, why not Ivan the Terrible? Is that your argument? Must I be as savage as him to rule Russia?
Yes, sir.
And Dimitri's name! Can we kill that? In order to convince people that Dimitri is dead. How many men must join him in the grave? How much of Russia do I have to destroy in order to save them? How weary I am.
Sir! Get a doctor!
The king is unwell!
Get back!
Stand back!
What happened? He crushed his heart, he's standing about!
Get a doctor!
Run!
The doctor can help me now.
Sir, you'll survive this, you're strong!
Is this strength? My son, here, hold your father for the last time.
Father, no!
Rest of you away. Even you, Basil. Farewell. Help the prince be a king. Father, my body is broken. I will not live to see the morning. Listen. Oh God. I'm burdened with sins, and one great sin. My son, I was born a subject. Nobody in particular, just one more man, and here I die, a king. And now you inherit it all. The power and responsibility. Oh God. Forgive. Don't burn my soul. My son, you are innocent. Remember it. Oh God, remember it. You come to inherit the throne as the son of a king. You are legitimate even if I am not. But you come to power when the country is in rebellion. You are not Dimitri. But you never touched him. Triumph, my son. Triumph.
good advisors. Men you can trust. Husband and Shuisky, trust them. And don't talk too much. Talk rarely.
Don't leave Russia! My lord, it is time to make your peace with God and take your vows as a monk. I have come to tonsure your hair.
Grace. We'll break. No rule of silence now.
He's dead. The king is dead.
Long live the king. Speak straight, please. Speak.
If that is what you wish, my king offers you the command of the army of Russia.
It's a job I've already got.
But not truly. Not truly. Though you have sworn allegiance to Russia's king.
I have, as the world knows.
Russia's king is Dimitry. He escaped the murderous Aduli.
I know who he is! And so do you. Between ourselves here, let's not pretend. He's a runaway monk.
Russia and Poland, they both accepted him. I'm not pretending. In the eyes of the world, he is Dimitry. Dimitry lives in the eyes of the world. That is the fact around which our conversation should revolve. You can't contradict the world, though you've tried.
But your army is nothing. 8,000 men? 10,000 at most.
Less, not even 8,000. Most of those aren't soldiers. Dreamers and robbers, that's our army. Mostly they're thieves who take what they can and run away at every threat. Your army is bigger and better, but there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
Go on. I'll listen till you're done.
You want to be the last man loyal to Feodor. You can't be a martyr unless someone else believes in the cause. Solitary, dead lunatic. That will be your reputation. When we surround a city, the few men loyal to Feodor are locked in prison by their own soldiers. Our army is poor, but our cause is good. In this vast land, the cause is more important. Despite the size of your army, it can't be everywhere. Our cause can be everywhere. In every village, Dimitry is the king. There is a magic in his name. It inspires people who have never met him, never will. Do you think you can win against that? Or can you just delay the end? I must go.
I will give you my answer tomorrow. Good men and a poor cause. A good cause and poor men. Who will win? We can't win. If I killed every man who doubted Feodor, there would be nobody left to dig the graves. But Dimitry is fraud! But if I oppose him, how many more men will be killed? How many more towns will be burnt? How many more women will be raped? Poor Russia. Or what should I protect? My country? Or my king?
Somebody's coming! Robbie!
I can't see anyone!
Messenger!
Look!
From the prince!
Who is it?
Probably.
No, it is.
That's not a messenger. That's Pushkin!
Please, silence a while. As you all know, many years ago an attempt was made to kill Prince Dimitri. And as you all know, he survived. And he survived the war waged to prevent him taking his rightful place here in Moscow. But now Boris is dead, and Prince Dimitri and his army are camped outside the city. Even General Basmanov, with deep and heartfelt repentance, has accepted Dimitri as his lord. Do you oppose Dimitri?
No.
Will you support him?
Always!
I know what you've suffered.
So do I.
What do you call it suffering?
Imprisonment, torture, fines, lives ended, lives ruined for no good purpose, just to keep a usurper on the throne. For no good purpose, you have suffered torment. And as hard as Boris struggled, whole provinces slipped away from his grasp until eventually just this city was left. Now he's dead. And what has he left his son? The Kremlin, that is all! But are you content that he keep even that?
No!
You let him rule the Kremlin? Do you want to prove your love for Dimitri?
Yes!
Well, how can you tolerate Feodor here in our midst? Will you let him rule the Kremlin?
No!
Will you leave him that?
No!
The Kremlin is the symbol of Moscow. The Kremlin is your symbol. Take back the symbol of Moscow. Seize the Kremlin!
Take back the Kremlin!
Seize Feodor!
Seize the
and
Kremlin!
Seize your glad future!
Nikolka want bread! Nikolka want bread! Nikolka want bread! You are poorer than me. I have an iron cap and no chains about my wrist. Dimitri has risen. Dimitri has returned. Dimitri will be our king.
We've heard Nikolka. Dimitri is in the Kremlin.
You earn your bread with old news. What old crust can you expect, woman?
New news, new. No true Dimitri would enter Moscow with a Polish army. No king of Russia was a friend of Poland.
He is now.
No! The true Dimitri is in the south. The true Dimitri will drive away the false Demetrius. Christ will drive out the Antichrist. The true Dimitri will be the salvation of Russia, and his war is about to begin!
People! In his clemency, Dimitri has embraced Ksenia, but Feodor will die. The line of Godunov will be extinguished. Long live Dimitri!
Hurrah!
Long live Dimitri!
Hurrah!
Long live Dimitri!